Nel frattempo che aspettiamo il collegamento di Mustafa, speriamo che si possa collegare, credo che è già emerso un quadro, secondo me, molto interessante e molto veritiero sulla situazione degli africani, della situazione economica, della situazione in cui vivono e delle ragioni per cui spesso, anzi, sono portati a emigrare, alle dinamiche di questi trafficanti e purtroppo bisogna dire anche della connivenza dei governi africani. La cosa molto interessante, vi consiglio, c'è un libro di Ilaria Bifarini che parla proprio... No, non ho ancora visto nulla. Ha detto che si è collegato. Vi consiglio un libro di Ilaria Bifarini che parla proprio dello sfruttamento da parte internazionale. Ecco, sta arrivando Mustafa, che fa proprio degli interessanti paralleli fra come il debito è stato utilizzato per sfruttare l'Africa e come il debito sta già cominciando a essere utilizzato in Europa. Nel caso della Grecia è un esempio, ma penso che ne vedremo purtroppo delle brutte in Italia. Mustafa si è collegato nel frattempo. Good morning, Mustafa, can you hear me? Can you switch on the microphone, please? Or the video?
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Frank?
I'm fine, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's beautiful that finally we made a connection.
Yes.
With. So I will start immediately with questions rather than simple introduction. So you call from Gambia, and we would like to know what's the situation in your country, political and economical, and your role of your what you're doing in your country related to the fact that a number of people tried the journey to reach Europe. What are the reasons for this? The reason why they force these people or encourage these people to travel to Libya and try to cross the Mediterranean, and what's the real situation of these people and what happens afterwards? What is your role in helping them or whatever, and your personal experience? And Michelangelo will translate you. Please go ahead. He will stop you when he wants to translate. Okay? Just a second, and I translate to the people here. Ho solamente detto a Mustafa che è un piacere che alla fine siamo riusciti a collegarci, che ci possa raccontare la situazione in Gambia economica, politica e le stesse domande che ho formulato, diciamo, a Osita, cioè cos'è che spinge le persone a provare questo viaggio tramite la Libia e il Mediterraneo per arrivare in Europa? Quali sono le condizioni, chi incoraggia e qual è il ruolo appunto della sua ONG nell'aiutare le persone che rimangono anche, diciamo, intrappolate in questo dramma. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm trying to on my camera. Hello?
Yes, I hear you. Don't worry about the camera, it's fine.
Yes, in order to have a strong network, I think I'll have to off it. Yeah, good morning to you all. My name is Mustafa Salah. I am from the Gambia. I am an activist, a social worker, and a returning migrant from Libya. And I co-founded an organization founded by returning migrants who were trying to cross to Europe, but got returned from Libya in 2017. Uh, yes, and since I started that work, I have learned a lot about migration, especially at the economic level and the political level in my country and in my continent at large. But when it comes to economically, in my country, young people constitute the large number of the population. And Gambia, we have only one university when it comes to education. And people like me, we were thriving in the education, hoping that we will pursue our education up to the degree level. But since those type of, we have only one university and the opportunities are limited, not every young people can go to the university. And when it comes to work also, young people have little opportunities in search of work, getting employment in this country. And Gambia is a country whereby our borders are very open. We are a country that welcomes everybody all over the world, even though we are very small, just 2 million, around 2 million people. And but since most of the investments here are owned by foreign investors, young Gambians are left with little opportunity to participate in the economic sector, most especially the young people. And when it comes to employment also, many employees are underemployed here, meaning they are receiving salaries which cannot sustain them at the end of the day. And I worked as a telecommunication officer before I went to this back way. I worked as a steward in a five-star hotel, but my salary at that time was not even up to 50 euros per month. And as the first son of my family, that money cannot sustain me in any way and my family, because we don't have our own home, we are renting, and that money could not keep me alive with my family. And when it comes to the list, Gambia is a very blessed country when it comes to natural resources. We have so many natural resources like the river Gambia. Gambian soil is very rich in agriculture, but there is no engagement or little engagement that is there for the young people, because at the fishing sector it is dominated by, right now as we are talking, the Chinese are controlling our river. The European Union is controlling our river. Young Gambians cannot work in the fishing sector, and it's a very lucrative business. And when it comes to agriculture also, young Gambians are not empowered to participate in that sector. And tourism was the second largest main economy in this country. But since the pandemic arrived, and well before that, Jammeh, the former regime, where many young Gambians were migrating during his time, he makes sure that he didn't empower the tourism sector to the point of it will create employment for young Gambians, because we all see how he was dealing with foreign countries, especially the tourists that normally come to Gambia. So at the end of the day, all those sectors are not productive, are not engaging the young people, So the young people will be left with no option other than to embark on this journey. And there are so many push factors economically, but the main factor of this irregular migration is political, reason. Because why I said that borders were imposed in us politically, because even to travel outside the Gambia to Senegal, crossing at the border can be a very big challenge, talk less of going to Europe through the back way. Because our countries are subjected to, all the rules and the regulations, all the laws that are implemented, that are designed by the foreign countries, the foreign powers, most especially the EU. Our country, Gambia, politically, they are strengthening the borders in order to minimize the movement of young people outside the country and traveling irregularly. Due to that reason, traveling irregularly becomes impossible for us regularly, like to go to the embassy, get a visa, and travel to anywhere in the world become very impossible for young Gambians. Even those who are in search of education. Because in 2016, I got a scholarship to go to Taiwan and study computer science. But due to political reasons between Gambia and Taiwan, I was rejected. And when I got rejected, that's when I proceed to Libya. But if at all I have the visa to go to Taiwan, and by now I will have got my master's degree in computer science. But since I was rejected, I end up seeing myself in Libya.
Okay, just a second, I will provide the translation. Allora, allora lui dice che si scusa, sta cercando di accendere la videocamera ma ha dei problemi di connessione, comunque l'abbiamo visto poi anche sull'audio, abbiamo perso un pezzo. Comunque lui diceva che dunque saluta, il suo nome è Mustafa Salah, vive nel Gambia, è un attivista, è un lavoratore sociale, è stato in Libia ed è ritornato in Gambia nel 2017. Ecco, adesso lo possiamo anche vedere in volto. E ha fondato questa associazione che si chiama YAIM, Youth Against Irregular Migration, cioè Gioventù contro l'immigrazione irregolare. L'associazione è stata fondata di fatto da lui e un altro ragazzo quando loro dicono, quando si trovavano ancora all'interno di un centro di detenzione in Libia, perché lì hanno deciso di voler tornare a casa e di voler aprire un'associazione perché altri giovani connazionali come loro non facessero il loro stesso errore. Ha imparato molte cose da questa esperienza in Libia e poi parlando del Gambia, il problema principale è il fallimento economico del paese. Esiste una sola università in tutto il paese, le opportunità sono limitate anche per la ricerca del lavoro. Ci sono 2 milioni di cittadini in Gambia, è un paese molto piccolo e anche i salari per quei pochi che si possono permettere un lavoro sono decisamente bassi. C'è molto sfruttamento da parte delle potenze internazionali, spiegava come da un lato la Cina, dall'altra parte l'Unione Europea abbiano di fatto il controllo del fiume Gambia, di conseguenza tutta l'agricoltura su cui si basa il paese è dipendente chiaramente dai fornimenti idrici del fiume Gambia. Ci sono quindi molti settori che non sono competitivi nel paese e questo lascia i giovani senza alternative. In sostanza, lui dice, sono 2 i cosiddetti push factors, uno è sicuramente la mancanza di opportunità e il secondo è quello dei motivi politici, perché molti giovani poi in qualche modo cercano di combattere questo stato di cose e quindi si trovano ad avere problemi con la giustizia. E per questo che è molto popolare nel paese quella che loro chiamano back way, cioè l'ingresso del retro, che sarebbe il modo che loro utilizzano per raccontare appunto l'emigrazione clandestina, perché loro dicono chi entra in Europa attraverso la migrazione irregolare è come se entrasse dalla porta del retro in una casa, e quindi invece loro dicono no, noi vorremmo entrare in maniera regolare, quindi suonando il campanello e facendoci aprire e non entrando di soppiatto dalla porta del retro. Quindi tutti i modi per lasciare il paese in questo momento sono preclusi, questo è il problema principale, perché un motivo per cui lasciare il paese appunto non è soltanto quello di cercare lavoro, ma per esempio quello di completare i propri studi, ma non c'è modo di viaggiare regolarmente. Per esempio vi racconto del mio caso personale. Io ho fatto richiesta per essere accolto in una università a Taiwan perché avevo bisogno di completare il mio corso di studi, ma questa richiesta alla fine mi è stata rifiutata, ed è allora che purtroppo ho commesso l'errore di credere alle promesse dei trafficanti e quindi di voler andare in Libia. You can go ahead if you want to finish.
Yeah, if you want to finish, or if you need some questions from us.
Yes, I think I will, if you have any questions, I will answer also in the meantime.
Ok, quindi se ci sono delle domande, dice. Se qualcuno ha qualche domanda. All'interno del Gambia. So, bro, there is one question. So you mentioned about political problems,
Yes.
Which affect many young people in the Gambia. So the question is, what kind of political movements are developed in the country? What kind of struggle are doing, and what is the situation for them?
Yeah, for the kind of political movements that are available here, we have human rights activists, we have, youth activists who are working on youth empowerment. For example, our group, we are engaged mostly on youth empowerment and advocacy, engaging the political leaders, the government authorities, and the stakeholders. But I can tell you, like, we have so many political leaders, activists here in the Gambia. But looking at the political environment of the Gambia in the past regime was very, very harsh. It was not easy, and most of the time, the activists, the political activists, are the ones in the diaspora, because people were put in jail, people were tortured, or even killed during the past regime, and that has suppressed the level of activism in the Gambia. But thank God, in this new government, we have so many activists, so many human rights defenders, and my organization is part of those new groups who are fighting for the rights of the people by engaging the stakeholders in a form of conference and dialogue. We send our reports after conducting activities. Likewise, other organizations also are here engaging the stakeholders in terms of putting the government accountable or responsible for their actions. Because this deportation, the current deportation, why the government is not complying to the regulation of the EU is because there are so many activists, political activists behind those decisions. So they are slowing down the government decisions in terms of accepting Gambian deportees from Europe. And for that being the case, Gambia have been, sanctions have been put. So there are so many restrictions that are put into the Gambians, the regular Gambians who are applying for visas. For example, if I am to apply for the EU visa right now, I will have to wait 45 days in order for my application to be just reviewed by the council. So meaning before it was 15 days, but now it is 45 days. And for that being the case, many Gambians have missed their, activities that they're supposed to do in Europe. So as we are right now, people are, taking responsibilities into their own hand by, putting pressure on our current government.
Yeah, but let me ask you, I mean, all these young political activists, how are they organized? Are they, are they struggling in political parties, in organizations, movements? I mean, what is the way they use to carry on their political struggle?
Yeah, like I said, it's mostly they do it at the level of their organizations, or we do some partnerships in order to help our activities. But the struggle is real and it's for everybody. Like all the young people here are struggling. So when it comes to the political system also, young people are not given the chance, to participate, because it's a game which is reserved for the elders here. Because in the parliament, we have, only few parliamentarians who are under the age of 35. Majority, 90% of the parliamentarians are old people who are from the political parties. But in this new parliamentarians, because last month before last we had our elections, and we've seen independent candidates who are young people assuming, office in the parliament, like representing the voice of the young people in the parliament, in this new parliamentarian. So I will say that there is a limited opportunity or limited space available for young people in order to participate politically, if not to go and vote during elections.
Ok, just a second, I will provide the translation. Quindi lui dice ci sono molti movimenti politici nel Gambia, ci sono moltissimi attivisti giovani che lottano per favorire la condizione dei giovani. Diversi attivisti sono stati uccisi, altri sono stati messi in carcere, però al tempo stesso è difficile essere coinvolti all'interno, chiamiamolo, del processo decisionale. C'è una forte repressione che colpisce non solo chi fa politica, ma chiaramente anche i giornalisti. Loro stessi hanno prodotto dei report per le organizzazioni internazionali e infatti ci sono delle lamentele, diciamo così, da parte dell'Unione Europea nei confronti del governo del Gambia. Io gli ho chiesto in che forma si esprime questo attivismo da parte dei giovani. Lui mi ha detto soprattutto all'interno di organizzazioni, perché finisce che i più vecchi, diciamo così, alla fine controllano la politica, perché posseggono i soldi, hanno in mano il capitale, quindi sono loro che gestiscono, come dire, certi meccanismi, e quindi anche alle ultime elezioni c'erano pochissimi candidati indipendenti, e questo fa sì che appunto ci siano poche possibilità per i giovani di cambiare veramente le cose. Per io a questo punto gli chiederei perché i giovani non pensano di magari fondare un partito proprio loro. So a short question, I mean, why the youth in the Gambia don't think to create their own party and run by themselves against these, let's say, older generations which hold the power.
Yeah, I think I will blame the civic education system, which has, portrayed the political system as a game for the corrupt people or a game for the old people in the past, decades or yeah. Because in the history of the Gambia, of course, young people always participate in politics, but when it comes to support and empowerment, they are left behind. And for a long time, the political system was one-sided, and it was a game that they made appear to be useless, because most young people will tell you, I'm not interested in politics, if not, to go and vote. I will not participate in the political debate because it is a game of the corrupt people. So in order to avoid being corrupt, they tend to stay away from this political debate. And it's only few who are aware and active in the political debate. But most of these young people, what they believe in is to travel travel to Europe, make a better life, support themselves and their families, because it's the, I can say, only sustainable thing that we are seeing, is the only change that we are seeing within the society. But for the politics or politicians, they don't inspire the young ones to participate in politics.
Ok, understand, just a second. Quindi lui dice sì, ma purtroppo c'è molta corruzione e in effetti non si riesce a come dire, produrre questo cambio in Gambia, per cui i giovani sono lasciati indietro, non c'è veramente il rispetto nei confronti dei giovani, al punto che tutta questa frustrazione poi fa credere a questi giovani che alla fine sia molto meglio per loro tentare la fortuna all'estero piuttosto che migliorare la situazione in Gambia. Però a questo punto mi viene un'altra domanda: se non pensa che questa emigrazione dal Gambia dei giovani alla fine appunto prevenga un reale cambiamento politico all'interno del Gambia. So bro, next question is, don't you think that the effect of this irregular migration and I mean talking about all these youth that leave the Gambia is also, let's say, a reason why this political change in the country is not happening?
Yeah, I would not say it like that, because the diaspora have played a great role in changing the political system in the Gambia. They have, helped to create awareness within the youthful population. But I can say that, okay, that may be a part of it, but yeah, majority of the reason is like how the system is designed, how the political system is designed. It is designed not for the young people, but for the old people.
Yes, quindi lui dice, guarda, non direi esattamente così, perché comunque c'è consapevolezza in queste dinamiche, però il problema è proprio che il potere qui in Gambia è disegnato in questo modo, e quindi sono veramente delle strutture che sono in ogni caso difficili da mettere in discussione.
Mustafa, I have another question, which is the following. What are the countries in Europe, the preferred countries to emigrate for the people from Gambia? First question. And the second,
come again, it was breaking, sorry.
So I said, what are the preferred European countries where the people from Gambia immigrate to first? A second,
Yeah.
no, second, they have a relationship with the activists in Europe that they can help to improve their situation? I mean, the Gambian people, they have connections with the European activists for freedom in Africa or whatever, better relationship.
Yeah, for number one, I will say that Western countries like, Italy is a country where many Gambians are hosted. The Germany, United Kingdom, yeah, those are the countries where most Gambians go, and America as well, but there is no back way to America if not to travel through aeroplane. And like when it comes to connection with other activists outside the Gambia, I wouldn't say that there is no support or collaboration between activists in Europe in terms of helping us back to the Gambia, but I will say that it is not known to people like me, and it is not something also that we can say it is happening, because the struggle here, it's real. It's real, and of course, EU has a reason why we are in this kind of situations, but yeah, the level of commitment or support from the local people, from the people in the activists in Europe, it's very little. But again, like the Gambians who cross through the Mediterranean, they will tell you, it's because of these activists, these organizations, NGOs. That's why we are having the little support or the little changes that we are receiving in Europe. So in Europe, it is possible, but here, I would say it is very, very limited.
So, sorry, because I could not understand the last part. I mean, what did you mean when you talked about those who cross the Mediterranean, saying that they are in a way in contact and helped by the Europeans?
Yes. That's what I was saying is like the migrants who emigrated to Europe. Because when they arrived, most of the time is the NGOs who help them with the shelter, especially if they are on the streets, the NGOs will come and give food. If they are rejected also, if their asylums are rejected, there are some organizations who help them to appeal or to, get the right assistance that they need. So I host a radio program here with my organization every Friday, and one of the episodes we were in contact with a social worker who is working in an organization, in an NGO in Italy, and he was, highlighting the works that they offer to irregular migrants also. I know activists, migrant activists in Europe who are Gambians, and they are working closely with European activists also, the likes of Omar Marong in Napoli. He is doing great, and we have Yaya Sonko in Germany, who is also there to fighting for the rights of the migrants.
Yeah, right. But what kind of help they can provide about irregular migration?
Yeah, I think the type of help that they provide, the most important one is helping them to get asylum documents.
But asylum, therefore, is regular migration in this case. In this case, is regular migration, because if they get the asylum, then they can travel and they can migrate regularly.
Yeah, but at first, I mean, when they arrive in Italy, they become irregular migrants with no documents, And some of them, they don't go to school, they don't learn the language, they don't know the process of how to handle their asylum application. So this organization will come in to assist them.
Okay, but this happens once they are in Italy.
Yes, once they are in Italy.
Yeah, okay, just a second. Dunque, i principali paesi in Europa dove si recano i gambiani sono l'Italia, la Germania e il Regno Unito. In realtà molti vanno anche negli Stati Uniti, ma regolarmente, perché non c'è modo per raggiungere gli Stati Uniti in maniera irregolare. Siamo in contatto con qualche attivista. A dire la verità non ho capito esattamente i nomi, però ho parlato anche di qualcuno, per esempio a Napoli, ma devo dire che la lotta qui è vera, è particolarmente dura, quindi l'aiuto che ci riescono a fornire in realtà è molto limitato. Poi ha parlato appunto dell'aiuto che viene fornito a chi invece intraprende la via della migrazione irregolare, ma in questo caso si riferiva una volta che i gambiani già mettono piede in Italia, quindi vengono aiutati appunto magari a fare richiesta dell'asilo, eccetera. E
sì,
quindi,
diciamo organizzazioni locali in
Italia, però soltanto una volta.
Aiutano, ad esempio, magari insegnano un po', non hanno i documenti.
Però una volta arrivati.
O li insegnano un po' l'italiano, ce ne conosciamo. Thanks, avete delle domande ulteriori? Cose da chiarire che non sono state.
Una domanda, concretamente loro si rivolgono ai giovani, che attività svolgono per convincere a che
Okay. So there is one question from the audience, and so we wonder, I mean, what kind of arguments you spend when you meet youth, young people in the Gambia, in order to convince them not to take the back way, or to at least to make them aware of the risks of the back way. So which are the arguments, and which are also the ways you use to engage those young people?
Yes, the arguments we use mostly are based on our personal experience, because I can say all the members of the group are returnees from this back way, and we all have different experience. So we share our sincere experience with the people, and most especially the young ones. And we will talk about the factors, the reasons why young people are migrating, because if you don't know the problem, then it will be very hard to understand how to go against it. And the challenges, we buttress more on the challenges that we face on the journey, which is like, the loss of money, because the backway is very expensive, and political problem that we face in crossing borders, because even traveling within Africa is very, 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 very difficult through the land. It's very, very difficult, and you will pay a lot of money if you have to cross any border. And there are, dangers attached to it also, because you can be put in prison. Your life, you can die in the Mediterranean or in the desert. But it's not like, okay, as many people imagine that the journey is very easy and simple, just like traveling from within this country, within the Gambia, because so many young people, that's how they see the journey. We engage the young people through sports, through school outreach, through community gatherings, and the elders, the parents, because most of the parents are the sponsors of this journey. or the families. So we have gatherings also with the parents and tell them the realities or the effects involved in this journey. And even after coming back, if you are not lucky to come back also, you will lack, support in order to reintegrate yourself. So the arguments are many, since we are many, but why we are informing them is to inform them to take to make an informed decision, because the Gambia is a very small country. Like I said, it's only around 2 million. So it's among the smallest countries in Africa, if not the smallest. But when you look at the arrivals of Gambians in 2016, 2017 to Italy, you will know that, Gambia was among the top 10 countries that arrived in Italy. And for that being the case, our population is, decreasing significantly, and most of these numbers are only young people from, I can say, 13 to 35 years old. So, which means that if we don't, put a stop to that, we will end up losing all the young people we have in this country. And to inform them also that, to take responsibilities, to put our government into, accountable, our stakeholders, to make sure that, they create laws that will help us to make it here, or laws that will promote regular and safe migration. Because politically, those things can be changed. It was designed by people, so people can change it. So we also use those arguments in order to, provide solutions, because at first we will tell them, like, we don't have the solution to this problem, but we come to you to find solutions collectively. And we give them the platform also to talk about their issues. We have it in cameras, we travel with journalists, with even international journalists. We travel with them, for example, Rai TV. We had a small documentary with them where we went to the provinces. TV Arte in France also the same thing. So, and in those platforms, we will give the local people, to express the challenges that they are facing and their opinions also.
Ok, just a second. Quindi lui dice, allora il primo argomento che spendiamo è la nostra esperienza personale, perché noi siamo stati in Libia, quindi sappiamo cosa significa, quindi raccontando la nostra esperienza, questo è uno dei principali argomenti che spendiamo con i giovani. In generale ovviamente cerchiamo di rafforzare la loro consapevolezza, perché solo una volta che capisci da dove viene il problema puoi pensare di risolverlo. Un altro argomento sul quale puntiamo molto è la perdita, lo spreco di denaro, perché per arrivare in Libia si buttano via un sacco di soldi. Una volta che arrivi in Libia può essere sottoposto a tortura a scopo di estorsione, quindi la famiglia ancora butta via soldi, quindi alla fine puoi trovarti senza aver ottenuto nulla, però hai buttato via parecchi soldi, quindi la situazione poi alla fine può essere addirittura peggiore di quella che poteva essere in partenza. Poi i rischi ovviamente del viaggio, quello di finire in prigione, quello di morire annegati in mare o nel deserto o per attraversare i confini. Oltretutto non bisogna credere alle promesse delle mafie, perché raggiungere l'Europa sicuramente non è un tragitto veloce e non è tantomeno un percorso facile. Dove li incontriamo? Li incontriamo soprattutto nelle scuole, quindi teniamo incontri nelle scuole, oppure all'interno di eventi organizzati dalle comunità locali nei villaggi. Cerchiamo di parlare molto con i genitori, perché anche i genitori devono essere in qualche modo informati dei fenomeni, in modo che possano poi parlare con i loro figli. E poi un'altra cosa importante su cui lavorare ovviamente è quello di offrire aiuto a chi invece ritorna in Gambia. E qui la questione, il grosso problema è che il Gambia effettivamente ormai da un po' di tempo assiste a una decrescita della propria popolazione proprio per effetto della quantità di giovani che lasciano il paese, e questo è un grosso problema per il Gambia, per il paese, per la popolazione. Chiaramente il governo è responsabile di tutto questo. Dobbiamo cercare una soluzione tutti insieme, e un altro modo attraverso cui cerchiamo di farci sentire è quello dei giornalisti internazionali che possono appunto raccontare la nostra esperienza al resto del mondo. In particolare dice che addirittura c'è un servizio realizzato dalla RAI alcuni anni fa, che sono stati lì in Gambia e hanno raccontato della loro esperienza. Non so se ci sono altre domande, io avrei una provocazione, però la faccio dopo, quindi dimmi prima tu. See, so there is a question from the audience. So about those young people who finally decide to remain in Gambia, I mean, what are the chances? What are the chances of work? I mean, what kind of employment they can reach? I mean, what kind of concrete solutions they have on the ground?
Yeah, I would say that there are very limited opportunities on the ground. Those people are left here because they have no option, or they are not in support of this irregular migration due to the things that they are seeing. But I will not say that they have a better opportunity. That's why they are staying, because till now things are, not moving productively. So those people, they are here because they have no other option, or no other place to go. That's why. But it is not because they have a better job or they have a better opportunity here. Because even those that are employed, we see them leaving their employment here and going to this journey. Those that own businesses here, we've seen them selling their businesses to go to this journey. We've seen students, leaving their schools, even security officers like the military, the police, the public health workers. All these people will, at some point, they will leave their job and come back on this journey. So the challenges that are pushing these young people or pushing us to take this journey are still here.
Ok, quindi lui dice non ci sono praticamente molte opportunità, e quelli che stanno un po' meglio sono quelli che lavorano con l'esercito, o quelli che comunque hanno un lavoro, come lo chiamiamo, salario statale, esatto. Quindi quei pochi che lavorano nella sanità, quei pochi che lavorano nell'educazione, alla fine quello è l'unica vera soluzione per chi rimane, ma chiaramente i posti sono estremamente limitati. Un'ultimissima domanda, vorrei fare una provocazione, perché come ho tradotto prima il nome della loro associazione è Gioventù contro l'immigrazione irregolare, che se una organizzazione in Italia avesse questo nome, penso che verrebbe considerata un'organizzazione di destra, no? Allora vorrei fargli una provocazione su questo. So, dear, the last question. So, the name of your organization, Youth Against Irregular Migration. I mean, if any Italian organization would choose this name for their own organization, they would be considered kind of racists, because here in Europe, we consider racists all those who oppose themselves to the migration, no matter if it's regular or irregular. So how do you see this different perspective on the subject?
The different perspective is like, they have, even us, we are not against migration. But we are against irregular migration because it's a phenomenon that has been going on in our country, and it's an exploitation for African, especially the youthful population, because we are all aware of the deaths that are involved in this irregular migration, and who is taking action, to make sure that this stops. Yeah, it's not about supporting the move, but what is there to support the move, to sustain the move. You know, like I said, Gambia is a small country, so if majority of the young people believe that they can only make it through this irregular migration, and we have went through it, and we see that okay, this is not a reality; it's just a myth. You know, so why not we enlighten them and inform them, the reasons that are available. And by against in this irregular migration, because irregular migration is not for anybody. Nobody should go through those things. In order to against that, we should promote safe and regular migration for all, mobility justice for all, you know. So that is the reason why we use this name, because we are against the irregular migration based on the experience, our real life experiences, not according to what we see on the movie, TVs, or yeah, but it's what we've seen with our own eyes, and yeah, through that we will support regular migration or migration for all. So
Yeah,
it's again irregular migration to promote regular migration.
yeah, that's clear. Dunque lui dice: noi non siamo contro la migrazione, noi siamo contro la migrazione irregolare che deve fermarsi, e quindi non siamo contro lo spostamento, ma siamo contro come ci si sposta, siamo contro questo modo di spostarsi. E io lo so bene, io che ho attraversato appunto tutte queste vicende, quindi conosco bene in che cosa consiste la migrazione irregolare, e dunque so benissimo distinguere ciò che è stato creato come mito negli ultimi anni da ciò che poi è la realtà sul terreno. Quindi nessuno deve fare più questa esperienza, questo è il nostro proposito, questo è ciò per cui lottiamo, però chiaramente non siamo contro la migrazione, lottiamo perché nessun altro giovane in Gambia cada nelle reti dei trafficanti e faccia le stesse esperienze che abbiamo fatto noi in Libia.
Oh, many thanks, Mustafa. This was an important message. We also believe, we also support your fight, and I personally, and Michelangelo, of course, as well, and I guess all the people in the audience support your ideas, and I hope in the future we'll be able to meet again and maybe help you in some ways to spread the news in Italy, and maybe some other means, just to provide you some support from a European activist that previously I asked, and you mentioned that there is little support for you, and we will try to create that support for you.
Thank you very much, because since it's a global problem, it requires global and collective effort. If we have people like you, because this is a great opportunity for me to come here and share our realities with people.
Before you leave, let us see your face again.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want the connection to break. That's why I off the network, the video, because we have a very poor network. The internet is not strong. Yeah, but what I am saying is, this kind of things, obviously, we need them. We are under support. We are under an underdeveloped organization. Yeah, but I will thank the Italian people, because we have worked with certain, organizations like COPI, The Italian television, Rai TV, and a lot of journalists also interviewed us, you know, and I know some people, you know a little about us there. So this kind of initiative is highly, highly welcome, and even more and bigger partnerships also are welcome, because collectively together we can make a change. You know, I think this irregular migration, everybody should against it for one reason, like, you know, it is inhuman. The way it is designed is inhuman, and it's people who design those situations. So at the same time, it can be reversed, it can be changed. And if we are all aware that this is irregular, this is inhuman, then we will provide human and regular means of migration, because migrants are the ones who build the world. Everywhere in the world it is built by migrants, because they are the ones who will take all sorts of jobs. Even here in the Gambia, Gambian youth, you know, we are struggling with job, but you know, certain job we will not do it because, you know, we believe we are in our country, and you know, the foreigners will come and engage in those sectors and provide, you know, livelihood for the people, and that's how it is happening worldwide. World. So I think migrants should be respected, they should be protected, and they should consider as global citizen, but not a particular, you know, individual from a country, because we are all individuals. So I thank you all, yeah, once again, because these are few moments, that few opportunities that we are receiving from the outside world, and we believe, you know, our voices need to be heard out there. So I hope that, yeah, we will do more, and they can follow us in YouTube, in Facebook, like Youth Against Irregular Migration. We are in all social media platforms, you know, and we normally share our activities there. So thank you.
Great. See you.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye. Good luck. Have a good day.
All the best.
All the best. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Dopo al volo quest'ultima parte, lui diceva appunto che quella dei migranti è una categoria molto sfortunata in tutto il mondo, infatti non ci sono difficoltà lavorative soltanto qui in Gambia, ma io so benissimo anche poi qual è la realtà dei lavoratori migranti una volta che arrivano a destinazione, e comunque ringrazia molto per l'opportunità di aver potuto raccontare quest'altra faccia della verità, perché sono veramente poche le occasioni che loro hanno per poter parlare direttamente con i cittadini europei e quindi mostrare loro veramente qual è la realtà dei fatti vista con gli occhi di un africano. Poi invita tutti quanti a seguire il loro gruppo, che sono presenti su tutti i social. Come abbiamo detto, il nome del gruppo è YAIM, inizia con la Y, YAIM, la seconda I è una I normale, diciamo così, e questo era.
Ok, grazie a tutti per la partecipazione, gli oratori. Bye bye Mustafa, we stop here and have a good day.